Often say, don't they, that karma is a wonderful thing, you know, particularly if you've done something terrible to someone else, whichever way you look at it. Apparently, it all comes round to bite you in the end. A great believer in that. I always think just treat people as the way that you would like to be treated. If you're having a bad day or in a bad mood, stay in, don't mix with people. Sure, you'll agree. The bottom line is, you know, there's a lot of it about in this society now, isn't there? And when you think about it also, it's really out there in the public domain. Very quickly, you're sort of hung, drawn and quartered over something that really possibly is nothing to do with you. This has been a huge problem, as one can imagine, for the former senior royal known as the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. What's interesting here, you see, is the simple fact that, as you can imagine, after that disastrous Newsnight interview with the BBC, which he gave with full permission, no payment, no agreement for any edits or anything like that, he gave it because he truly believed in what he was saying. Obviously, that divided opinion. And obviously, I'm not here to defend or condemn. That's not the point of the channel, as you know. But I wanted to highlight this particular situation to you because that particular programme, Newsnight, which was fronted by Emily Maitlis, who since left the BBC, some might say on a rather rocky patch. Well, the bottom line is this. That programme has now been, shall we say, shelved. And in the new year will be a radically different programme. No presenters, basically a documentary style which will feature on one topic. Now recently, last week, the editor, the main cheese of that particular programme, Stuart McLean, has decided to leave. That's right, yes, moving on. And this is all because the BBC have decided to slash the funds. And more importantly, nobody is watching Newsnight. The ratings are absolutely dire. Not only that, a couple of days ago, their lead presenter, Kirsty Walk, who's been fronting that particular programme for over 30 years, has now decided to step down and just simply work on special projects on the BBC. You see, what I'm saying is this. They kind of went out of their way to glorify this particular situation. But the bottom line is the public see very much through exactly how that programme was put together. Months and months and months of planning, and then the layers were peeled away, all the culprits decide to jump ship before they get fired, and more importantly now, the BBC are left with a disastrous brand that they can simply not afford to keep rolling. The bigger picture is this. When you consider that Prince Andrew himself went through the absolute ringer following that particular Newsnight interview. As I said at the start of this video, karma is a very strange thing, isn't it? I'm sure sitting in Windsor at Royal Lodge, he must be thinking, goodness, I never saw that coming. And neither did those presenters, all of that production staff that worked so fervently and trying to turn someone over. Now, as I said, for me, it's not for me to decide one way or another. That really is up to His Royal Highness, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. Whatever the true situation is behind that thing, obviously, then that's his issue, that's his problem. But isn't it strange to think those that really applauded it went out to pick up awards, signed book deals, and then went on to make documentaries? This proved to be their fate too. It's a strange thing, karma, isn't it? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.